Real estate is an investment that carries a lot of risk, but what many don't consider is that some risk can be climate and nature related. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but it's a conversation you need to have before buying another thing for your real estate portfolio. Hi there, my name is Michael. I'm a broker in New York State and a real estate consultant here at Mashvisor. Here on the channel, we publish videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday where we talk about all things real estate and real estate investing, including traditional rentals and Airbnb. So I'm very glad you're here. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please do consider subscribing below. Hit the bell icon and click that thumbs up button to tell the internet this is valuable real estate content. And if you're a real estate investor, please leave us a comment below if the weather or the local climate is something you consider when you buy an investment property. A lot of the time, investors buy properties based on two things. What they know, meaning what's in their backyards, the areas they're comfortable investing their money into, and what looks good on paper. If the numbers line up well, if they'll be able to turn a profit. And in truth, those two things can be enough to bring about a successful real estate business in most cases. But then something like a Hurricane Katrina happens, a natural, unforeseen event that could literally wash away everything you've worked so hard to acquire and build for yourself. So in this video, I'll talk about the weather, the local climate, and one's natural surroundings, and how it can add an unconsidered risk to your real estate investment strategy. And second, what you can do to mitigate the risks when adding to your portfolio. So let's get started. Let's start with the obvious, and we'll transition into some things that you may have not considered. One of the most obvious ways weather can affect a real estate investment is by causing property damage. Hurricanes, floods, and other extreme weather events can cause severe damage to homes and properties. In some cases, the damage may be so severe that the property is no longer habitable or profitable. Weather can lead to expensive maintenance and operation costs. If a building is located in an area prone to flooding, its owners may have to spend a lot of money on waterproofing and drainage systems. If high winds are frequently hitting a neighborhood, owners may have to spend money on repairs and windproofing. And a wise investor considers such things before putting in an offer. A natural disaster could cause a complete property loss in the worst case scenario. And this means a lot of money that you've invested in your real estate would also be lost. Some things not necessarily considered are that if the physical risk is large enough, you may have people unwilling to rent your property, as they really don't want to put themselves in harm's way unnecessarily, or they simply can't manage the ramifications of that climate. Consider properties located in the snow belt. I'm in upstate New York, and there are communities situated in a specific direction off of Lake Erie that they just get hammered with snow. They're snowed in for weeks each year. An older person can't shovel themselves out as effortlessly as a young, vibrant renter could. But do they want to deal with that much snow? It's something you have to consider. And if so, how much will you have to decrease the rent to make it worth their trouble? You may recall that when Hurricane Sandy hit New York City and New Jersey, there was a high-profile class action lawsuit from tenants against a building owner, claiming that the landlord acted negligently in response to the emergency. The courts eventually sided with the owner, but before 2012, it wasn't as common to hear about such legalities being brought against a building owner in that way. So, should a natural occurrence happen in one of your buildings, do you know what to do to protect your tenants as required by the law? Or, what systems do you have in place currently that could protect you legally? In the aftermath of a natural disaster, there can be a stigma attached to homes that have been repaired or rebuilt after a storm. And unfortunately, many people believe that those homes are not worth as much as homes that have a differing backstory. And as a result, these homes and buildings can sell for less than comparable homes in the same area. Not across the board, of course, but it certainly does happen. I did not find this when I was in New Orleans because, and maybe someone could comment below if you have a differing experience, of course, but when you go to certain neighborhoods and you see homes that were affected by Katrina, I often found that the owners would explain the history and the heritage of the home with a sense of pride. You can walk down the street and you can see watermarks purposefully left on buildings as if it displays the community's resilience and those kinds of things, which it does. So that's really nice. But I'm in New York, and I've shown a lot of homes in my day. And when you explain, a tree fell on the roof and there was significant water damage or what have you, the buyers will give you a worried look. They're often not too pleased. There's a stigma attached because people don't want to get taken advantage of. If something wasn't repaired well, or now as a result of, say, a tree falling on a house, water got in and now there's mold or something inside the walls, and those things are unseen, and people don't really want to deal with those things unless a current owner makes it financially worth their while. Again, from an investor's perspective, it's something that you want to know that you're up against. Hey there, just one word from our sponsor, Mashvisor.com. If you're a new investor who's just getting started in real estate and you need a little extra help, be sure to check out Mashvisor.com. We help beginner and seasoned investors find the best areas for investing in both traditional and short-term rental properties. And of course, all the listings on the site come with analysis that can help you make the best business choice for your investment portfolio. So check us out, Mashvisor.com, and you can get a free 7-day trial and 20% off your lifetime membership by using the code VIDEO when you sign up. Let's get back to your video. So, how can climate and weather risks be mitigated? Start with boots on the ground. Start with real estate agents. They are trained to be local experts, and they know the area's history usually better than some residents do most of the time. If you're investing in a location with a municipality that has a responsive website, often you can pull up flooding and historical maps for reference right off of the town or city website. If not, real estate agents have access to it through their MLS software. Real estate investors are increasingly using climate risk data and mapping to make decisions on locations susceptible to atypical events or climate change to create more resilient investments. And with the blessing of modern technology comes tools that can really help you on demand. There's a free one called GIS for Climate, and it has broad data and applications that can show you maps to track things like sea level, droughts. There's an ice mapping tool and those kinds of things. Again, it's from a broad perspective, but it's a great place to start if nothing else. Other sites like climatecheck.com allow you to do a climate weather search by address. And it has a free assessment that at least offers some percentages of risk, like storm, flood, drought, fire risk, and it at least gives you something to base your purchase on. And they do have for purchase options as well, I think, if you want more detailed descriptions. And of course, if you're looking for the most advanced model, there's something called a market level risk assessment, and you can have it commissioned, but that's more budget and size of investment project dependent. When it comes to climate and your investments, there are two commonly accepted types of risk. There's physical risk and there's transition risk. Physical risk is mainly what we've been talking about throughout this whole video. Physical property damage caused by climate-related events. But the one thing I want to talk about is the second part of that model, and it's called transition risk. And this is how local and national infrastructures respond to the physical risk we've been speaking of. And it really comes into play when we see a large event, again, like Katrina, and then we see the after effects, changes in policy, in technology, changes in the real estate market or in buyer behavior. And this is important because if you're investing in a local community, you probably know about the laws or you're familiar with the laws. But if you're buying in a new area that you're unfamiliar with, it's important to know how that area has responded or will respond to a catastrophic weather event in the future. If something has occurred, how have people in that community responded historically? What did the local government do in that time? If it happens now, are there standards in place from City Hall to help investors get back on their feet? All of this will affect your bottom line if a horrible weather occurrence were to come and damage your property. So before buying, it's smart to take the time, do local research, and make sure that you'll be protected and supported in a worst case scenario. Finally, here is a really good piece of advice. By investing in different property types and geographical areas, you can spread out and better mitigate your risk. For example, if you invest in a coastal property, you're more likely to be affected by a hurricane than if you invest in a property in Ohio. Similarly, if you invest in a property in a state that's prone to wildfires, then you're at a higher risk than if you invest in a property that typically doesn't experience those kinds of events. As crass as it sounds, because again, we're talking about someone's home, of course, but you're a business person and you rely on income always being generated by your properties. So even if there's a natural event limiting your income in one place, by spreading out your investments, you can make sure you still have money being made in another place that's not currently being afflicted by a large weather event. And really, this is where a platform like Mashvisor shines, because you can find properties across the United States and ensure that they all line up with your standards and hopes and financial necessities. They can even link you up with homeowners and local agents in your area of focus to help you facilitate a sale, even if you're not currently in that location. So there you go. That is real estate investing. How can weather affect your investment strategy? Please consider subscribing to our channel. We post videos every single week, 3 times per week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with videos just like this. It's a lot of great free real estate content. So please come back and check us out. You're bound to find something that could help you and your business. And we get to spend time together. And that's fun. Well, it's fun for me. Well, time will tell for you. If you're an investor who's just getting started in real estate and you need a little extra help, please be sure to check out Mashvisor.com. We help beginning and seasoned investors find the best areas for investing in both traditional and short-term rental properties. And of course, all listings come with analysis that will help you make the best choice for your business. So please check out Mashvisor.com and you can get a free 7-day trial and 20% off your membership by using the code VIDEO. My name is Michael. Please check me out on Instagram. It's Michael Talks Real Estate. And I will see you very soon.